Hi everyone, and welcome back to another journaling session with Journal with Dolly. I'm going to be working on my Furby today. As you just saw, I have put some gel polish on my nails, so hopefully my nails look a little bit prettier to look at today. So I asked about 3 days ago for some questions that you wanted me to answer on my Instagram, and I actually got loads of responses. There was loads and loads of you that actually asked me questions, so I'm going to be answering about 17 questions today to hopefully give you some answers, and I'm just going to be working on my book. So the page that I'm doing for you now is actually today, and then I'm going to be just going back and kind of diddling in bits and pieces of different pages that need to be completed as well. So the first question that I got asked was, what made you start journaling? Quite honestly, boredom. I've mentioned it briefly on another video, but I moved from my hometown to my university city, and then from my university city to a different city. So I honestly knew nobody when I first came to move to where I live now. The only person that I really knew was my boyfriend, and he worked really strange hours back then. He was actually a manager of a hotel, so he'd be working all sorts of different hours, and I needed something just to kind of fill the time, I guess. Like, I didn't know anyone, I didn't really have any friends. I'd just come out of uni. Nobody tells you, honestly, the year after you finish uni, it is just a shit time. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's rubbish. You miss going out, you miss being with your friends all the time, you even miss lectures and stressing out over deadlines, you miss all those things. So it was just pure boredom, and it actually helped me get out of that weird situation and that weird thought process, because I actually started seeing all the good things that were happening in my life, obviously as it was changing. So yeah, that's why I started. I started in about 2017 properly. So yeah, just before I graduated. That's when I properly started journaling. One of my first journal entries actually was graduation. So yeah, that's what made me start. And then now I've got loads of friends here, and I absolutely love living here. And I always loved living here. It's like my dream city. I've always loved Leeds, but yeah, at the start it was really, really hard. The next question I got is, what are your least favourite journal supplies? Well, guys, you have tested me with that question. I don't know, is the honest truth. Probably glitter. Glitter is probably my least favourite. If you're asking about like art supplies or things that you could potentially use in a journal, yeah, glitter. I think it's horrible stuff. It goes everywhere. It's not very good for the environment. You can't ever use all of it up because it just goes everywhere. Yeah, I hate glitter. I think it's horrible. I don't mind glitter glue. Glitter glue, absolutely fine. You know, makes everything sparkly, fine. But actual normal glitter, no, not a fan. I'm also, watercolours I have to kind of put in there just because I always have really bad luck with watercolours, or I'm just crap with them. I don't know which that is yet, but they never work for me. Every single time I buy them, I do what it tells me to. My sister, she does illustration at uni, and by the way, her pictures are amazing. I'm going to put her link down below. She has an Instagram, so go check my sister out with her arty stuff. She's tried to show me how to use them. I've watched other YouTubers do watercolours. I genuinely can't do them, so any tips, let me know. I've bought some good watercolour brushes, so hopefully that might be able to help me be better at them, but they're in the post, the Amazon's delivering them, so yeah, that's that situation. So yeah, glitter and watercolours, they're my two, but watercolours might change if I get really good at watercolours someday. What do your family and friends think about my journals and YouTube? Quite honestly, they think it's hilarious. My mum thinks it's really funny that I keep my journal. She thinks it's really kind of quirky and just a bit bonkers. She thinks it's just really random. She doesn't understand my obsession with stickers. The funny thing is, I actually got my love of stationery from my mum. Like, she loves stationery. Like, she's mad for a new pen. But she doesn't understand, like, being obsessed with stickers and stuff that I think you'd probably class in the childlike sector. So that's my mum. She thinks it's really funny. My dad is just totally impartial. I don't think he really has an opinion on it. To be completely honest, he just accepts that I do it. My sister, she also doesn't really understand it, I think. She gets it from a crafty point of view and an arty point of view, because obviously she's an art student, so she likes that kind of thing. And she's thinking of starting a bullet journal now, so that's good. My granddad, who passed away last year, he loved looking at my journals, and he was one of the reasons why I started properly doing them, because he was always really arty as well, and he absolutely loved looking through them, and I like looking back at the memories I've got with him. My nana, she's not arty at all. She thinks it's, just really funny again, but she loves looking at them. She thinks they're amazing. My boyfriend's family, on the other hand, absolutely love my journals, and his mum and his sister have both started journaling because of me. So that's really nice. My friends honestly think it's freaking hilarious. Like, if you ever do any polls or anything, if there's ever a no answer on it, like, do you want a video tonight? No. It's most likely my friends taking the piss. Like, they'll have answered back and said no, or they'll ask stupid questions like, can you get a washi tape with, I don't know, like, with loads of poos on or something. Like, they'll make a joke about it. So they think it's really funny, but they do support me. They do like all my videos, and they do all sponsor me anything, and they find it really funny. But yeah, most of my friends find it absolutely hilarious. What's the hardest part about keeping a journal? Probably, I would say just the whole trying to keep on top of it and not feeling guilty about running behind. I now don't give a shit about that. I basically so behind from last year. I mean, I'd stopped journaling pretty much from about June last year, late May, June, and that journal is not going to get completed. I've now come to that conclusion, and that's absolutely fine. So it's just kind of getting over that thing of fear of missing out and fear of not journaling something. At the end of the day, like, whatever you put down on the page is worth something. You've documented more than you would have had if you didn't keep a journal. So I'm getting over that now, but yeah, I think that's the hardest part. It's trying to keep on top of it and remembering what you've done and all that kind of thing. Tips to get free and cheap journaling supplies. Oh, I could go on for ages about this. Honestly, guys, you don't have to spend a lot of money. I get most of my stuff from Amazon and Poundland, which is basically like the dollar store for the Americans watching, or the Australians watching, or whatever. Yeah, like Pound Shop is the easiest place to get stuff. You can get washi tapes, 6 for £1, stuff like that. Really, really cheap stuff. I use flyers, I use letters that come through the post, I use all sorts of things. I use printouts, just, free magazines. I mean, I went downstairs the other day, because I live in a block of flats, like apartments. I went downstairs to the bin, and somebody had put on the bins like a massive stack of Empire film magazines, and they're like free to take, so I took those. Sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time, but yeah, I mean, ask around, try and see if you can get any free magazines from anywhere, or if you go out around town, we have a lot of people giving out free magazines and stuff, so you can pick those up. So I'll probably do a full video about that. I know Loveland's Life did one recently. If she doesn't mind, I probably will do one as well, because obviously we'll have different perspectives of that, with her being in Holland and me being here in the UK. Yeah, and I think it's really, really important, because you don't need to spend loads. I mean, I do, but I need to stop that. But yeah. Another question I got: do you make time to daily journal, or do you do what you can when you can? Yeah. So, how good is this? That little quote that just came up about being productive, but I'll probably take a nap. So good for this question. Yeah, I do it when I feel like doing it. I put on post-it notes what I've done the day before. I look on Google Calendar. If you have Google Calendar or Outlook or anything like that you use for work, which stores meetings and stuff, start putting in that your personal life. Or you could do it with if you don't have a job as well, I guess you could do that. But I find it really handy to go back and even just seeing something like had my maths class on the night, that will then prompt you to go, oh, actually, I had fish and chips for tea that night. Like, I don't know what happens. Something in your brain makes it click, but I never force myself to journal if I don't feel like doing it. Don't do it. It won't work. It'll make your pages look crap. Like, just wait till you're in the mood. So yeah, I don't journal daily. I do it when I feel like it. Favourite go-to pen? It's got to be my Papermate Flair pens. They write on everything if you leave everything to dry. I also absolutely love a free biro. I get loads of free biros at work because my job is promoting the college that I work for. So I stock up on them free babies like whilst I've got them. So free biros are amazing. Go to store, shop, website for journal supplies. Amazon, and also places like Hobbycraft in the UK. Also Poundland. And any sort of cheap shops like that will usually have stuff in. I also love Paperchase as well. That's a really good crafty shop. And I also have a really nice local craft shop as well around the corner from me, which is amazing. We also have a big market opposite me, which is the biggest in Europe, the biggest indoor market. It's called Kirkgate, and it's absolutely huge. And there's loads of people selling cheap stuff there, like cheap lace and textiles and journal stuff. So yeah, that's really good. So yeah, all sorts of places. Why does journaling make you happy? I just like looking back at the pages. I know it sounds really mundane and boring, but I love looking back. I love actually decorating the pages the best. I'm not much of a writer. I know other people like Lindsay Carber, people like that, they write and write and write. Oh my God, I am not about that life. I wish I could be like that, but I'm not. I like decorating the pages the best. The writing always comes second, and it's very mundane and very boring what I write. It's written in my style, but it's never my deepest, darkest thoughts. It's always just kind of what happened that day. So yeah, looking back at the pages, seeing you guys getting inspired makes me happy as well. Doing this YouTube channel, stuff like that. What art supplies would you like to try next? I need to get my hands on a jelly plate, guys. I don't even know what they do. Do you know what a jelly plate does? But I've seen everyone talking about them. All these art groups I'm in on Facebook, they all talk about these jelly plate things. Yeah, I want to try them. And the watercolours that I mentioned earlier. Do you carry your journal with you even if you're not having time to journal? No. My journal never leaves my house. It's not one of these things that comes with me everywhere. When I had a bullet journal, that did. So the bullet journal came absolutely everywhere with me because I ticked things off as I went and stuff, but this journal does not. If I lost this, I'd be absolutely heartbroken. So it doesn't leave the house. It only really goes in 3 rooms, which is my living room, my craft room and my bedroom, and apart from that it doesn't really go anywhere. The only time it ever comes out with me is if I'm actually going away. So if I'm going home for the weekend or something, back to my parents or something, it'd come with me then. But that's the only other time. If I go on holiday for more than, let's say, 4 days, I will take a brand new journal. I'll take a traveller's notebook and I'll use that. This journal does not leave the house apart from, like I say, short distance trips. Next question, do you flip through your current journals to look at your pages? Yes, all the time. As I've just said, one of my favourite things is to just look back. I don't look back at the ones that I'm really sad about, like last year's journal. That's literally just sat on the shelf. I don't want to look at it because it upsets me that I haven't finished it and that there's a lot of things in there which need a lot of writing, and it overwhelms me, so I don't look at it, but I look at all the other ones, quite fondly. The next one, do you think it's important to journal through history? Have I journaled more or less through this time? Yeah, I do think it's important to journal history, but not just through events like, obviously, COVID-19 pandemic. I think it's important everyday journal because every single day you're living through history. There's never going to be another 4th of May 2020. That's never going to happen again. So every single day of your life is living through history. So yeah, I do think it's important too, because things can happen on insignificant days. So for instance, last year, I was flipping through my Furby from last year, and I saw that one day in June, Theresa May resigned as Prime Minister. I mean, I would never have remembered what day that happened on, I would never have remembered that. But that's still a big point in history. Same with Brexit, the day we left the EU, boo-hoo, I'm going to cry about it, but I put that in the journal because that was a momentous occasion. So every single day is history if you look at it that way. And have I journaled more or less? Well, I can't really comment on that because I do a Furby now. I don't really do my creative journal, and to be honest, I'm so pleased I didn't do it for this year, because what the hell would I put in it? Stayed at home again. My creative journal was on standby for all these amazing trips and things, days out I was going to go on, which obviously haven't happened now. So yeah, I mean, I've journaled more because I've had more time, so I'm more up to date, if that's what I could get from that question. Is, as you've just seen, I've just decorated today's page, which will have the writing on it, which is big, and all the ones I'm going back for are things that I haven't had time to do before. So I have probably journaled more now, yeah. But yeah, I do think it's really important to journal through history. I think as well, I know I didn't say I don't write my deepest, darkest thoughts in my journal, but I do write things about what I'm feeling, kind of, that isn't super personal. So one of the things is that I'm writing about at the moment is me and my mum and a few other people I've spoken to. I'm really into kind of conspiracy theories, and to be honest, I do think there's more going on with this COVID-19 thing. I don't think it's just a virus. I think there's something higher up going on. I do, honestly. I think that is a thing that's happening. And I think when I'm an old lady, it'll all come out and everyone will be like, oh my God. So I've written that down. I've put it in my journal. If people, if it doesn't come out as that, fair enough. People can laugh at me in 100 years' time and go, haha, look how funny Holly was thinking, COVID-19 was from all these higher up people trying to kill the world off, but all this stuff. That's fine, but imagine if I was right and everyone would be looking at it going, oh my God, Holly and her mum was so on the ball. So yeah, write stuff like that in it as well. Tips on journaling when you can't think of what to write. Well, don't journal, quite honestly. If you can't think of what to write, you're not in the mind frame. You will know when you want to journal. Don't force yourself to write. If you really don't know what to write, just don't write. That's my best advice to you. Just wait. If you're doing a Furby like me, there's never a thing not to write, okay? It could be so boring. It could be like, watch TV all day, watch RuPaul, had chicken and stuffed potatoes for tea, had salad. With me and Will went to Sainsbury's to get some salad. It doesn't have to be big things. So you just write what you did in the day. If you don't journal like me, like I say, if you just doing kind of continual writing, then wait. Just wait until you want to write. That is my best advice to you. Alternatively, you can get prompts and things like that off the internet, which I tried last year, but you don't stick with it. If you're not in the mood to write, you're just not going to write. So just wait, and then the time will come. Washi tape or stickers? I'd have to go with washi tape, purely because with stickers you could use ephemera or things that you found or other stuff which will do as stickers, so you can get still pictures from other places. But oh my God, don't make me do that, that's so hard. And the last question that I got is, how do you make your spreads look so put together? And it was this girlie who was on my page, and she was seeming a bit sad about it, saying that her pages don't look very good, blah blah blah. Oh, I hate that, honestly. I don't put my pages up to make people feel sad about their own pages, alright? I put it up to inspire you. If you like something that I do, then steal it. I don't give a crap, right? If you like the way that I've, layered my pictures, more than likely I've taken that from somebody else. It's all about sharing in this community, I think. I don't think there's anything about copying or anything like that. Also, it's took me, like I say, 4 years to do the journaling that I do now. Don't give up. If you're thinking, oh, my style isn't very nice, it's not very pretty, just keep going, see what happens. Do something different as well, change it up. If you really not liking what you're doing, then don't do it. You know, use a different sticker, use a different washi tape, get a different pen, do something different, and then you'll end up liking what you're doing. And just keep practicing. That's my best advice to you. Keep watching videos, keep going on Instagram, keep going on Pinterest. Look for inspiration everywhere you can, and eventually you'll develop your own style, okay? And most importantly, own what you do. Nobody else has got a journal like yours. Nobody in the entire world. You know, when you look at these pages that I've done, even if you steal little bits of what I do, nobody's going to have the same journal as you, okay? So just try and own what you do and be proud of what you do. But like I say, I don't put my pages up for people to get upset by or like think theirs isn't good enough. I don't want to do that. That's really defeats the point of me putting these things up. So yeah, that's my best advice to you. Just keep trying, do stuff different, keep getting inspiration, and own what you do, girl. Like, you don't need to be like everybody else. That's the whole point of having a journal, is, you know, subjective and blah blah blah. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's answered some questions. I've absolutely sped through them, so I hope that's all right. If you've got any more questions, then leave them down below. That's absolutely fine. I did film going through my sticker stash, which I bought recently. I got a load of stickers delivered from Amazon. Again, spending more money on blooming supplies that I don't need. If you want to see that video, then let me know, because I did film it and the lighting's really bad and it's just a little bit fumbly. I will film it if you really want to, and I'll speed it up so it'll only be like 5 minutes long, but just let me know. I can upload it if you do. If you don't, that's totally fine. I can delete it and forget about it. But you just let me know. I've also sent some washi tape. I've also sent some happy mails out recently, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody at the moment, because I've had some really nice, kind comments. I've had my subscribers and my Instagram followers shoot up, and it's just been really, really nice. So for people that have really supported me / who have kind of advertised me a lot recently, to get my name out there, I've sent them some goodies in the post. Some are letters, some are just little cards with some little extras in, some are big packages, some are some littler packages, all different sorts of things are going out. So if I've spoken to you and sent you a message, then please look out for your package coming in the post. But obviously there could be delays and stuff due to coronavirus. I checked if you're overseas, it was getting sent out by Heathrow today, so keep a lookout. I've got them all tracked, so if you are one of those people, then and you wanted to know where your parcel is, then let me know, and I can, or your letter or whatever, I can let you know where that is. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. Like I say, I'm going to leave the link below for my sister's Instagram down below. It would really appreciate me if you went over there and followed it, because she's very, very arty. She does a lot of manga, anime drawing, as well as some other things with paints and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd really appreciate if you'd go and check her out. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give me a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in my next one. You stay safe, stay indoors, do all the stuff that your government's telling you, or whatever, and I hope that you're all well and everything like that. Thank you so much for watching. You take care. Bye.